north. Oh no, they're talking about like those elves who are forced to make toys in Santa's workshop for no money.
Yeah. Is Corvus wearing like a jailed striped vest in this picture?
I think he's just wearing a vest.
I don't know, man. And there's Nessa.
Start reading the
looking
newspaper.
pretty frantic.
What's that eyeball? Oh, it's the eye. Is that something in French in the top left, or is that like Latin? I don't know. Nessa Crab's image dominates the front of the paper. She's being charged with Margot's murder, her brother's kidnapping, and attempted fraud. The article mentions that Nessa's alleged accomplice, Corvus Shaw, is being charged for his role. Oh, sorry, Margot's murder. Evan's kidnapping, assault, and attempted fraud. You're relieved to see no mention of Crimson anywhere, not even in the smallest news items. You figure no news is good news. No one found out about Jack and Nathan's killing spree. There's no mention at all about Carl's attempted sabotage at the Sulaks, only that there will be minor delays due to routine maintenance.
They probably want to make sure there aren't any more explosive devices in and around the locks. Had Albert succeeded... ...
Also, of course, the public doesn't have a right to know about Germany's crimes against our nation. You shudder to think of it. You skim the rest of the newspaper, but nothing else catches your eye.
That's a relief, I suppose.
I brought you the newspaper. You're not going to acknowledge me at all? What? I guess I just kind of vapor locked here. Oh, too bad about the whole diamond fest going on, Nancy, but we both knew it was a long shot. Good work today, kiddo. See you tomorrow, bright and early.
Yes, sir.
But what you didn't know is you'd be traveling back to Crimson. You're starting the long walk home. You're relieved that Crimson won't become an open pit mine, and that Kimmy and her cormorants are safe and happy, which you somehow read in the newspaper.
Number 24, Lucky Diner. This is another scene that you would only see in this ending.
Hiya, Nancy. Another late night, eh? Oh, I've got a bit of stew saved for you. Kept it nice and warm on the stove.
Thanks, Mrs. Williams. I'm starving.
Oh, that's how Roberta Williams talked. Didn't you? You didn't know that, did you? Go on in, lads. I'll serve it up.
I'll be down in a bit.
This is a reference to Roberta Williams, right? I mean,
very well could be.
Right.
Okay, lads, take your time.
Apples and pears, the straight and narrow middle way. That's my motto. Mrs. Williams ladles a hearty bowl of stew and slices a bit of bread for you. The food is delicious and warms you to the bone. You only have the one. She sits with you and the two of you chat about the goings-on in the neighborhood.
And of course, that's the tummy bone.
And the neighborhood. You're grateful she rents you rooms so cheaply. Museum clerks don't get paid very much.
Oh man, could you imagine if we became the Diamond Queen of Canada instead? We have so much money. Probably stay at a hotel.
Yeah. But your belly is full, and Miss Williams has washed the bowl. And it wouldn't be a hotel run by Roberta Williams. It'd be run by Ken Williams, who's a complete douche. Once your belly is full, and Mrs. Williams has washed the bowl, she waves you away from this menial task. You step lightly upstairs, lest you wake the other lodgers. It's a very Sierra room.
Yep. Oh, it's a lovely day in the neighborhood.
Well, she's living in like sort of that happy storybook poverty.
Yeah.
Because if you were rich, you would be unhappy rich. You fall asleep as your head hits the pillow. You're exhausted, and tomorrow will be another exhausting day. But it's that good tired of someone who worked hard and isn't a scumbag who betrayed Crimson. But every exhausting day is another step closer to making your dreams come true. You're going to make it on your own. Well done, Nancy. You never return to Crimson or meet any of those nice people again, for some reason. The next morning.
Oh. Hi, Nancy. We've come to take you to the heaven that is Crimson.
You pick up the envelope. It's from Mr. Richards. There's a bit of bulk to it, so you're surprised. The envelope fit under the door. It's full of diamonds. You open the envelope and read the letter inside. The letter reads,
dear Nancy, I hope you're here, Jack. She's been helping out around a lot, so I'm grateful. Nathan was killed by a bear. Kimmy still plans to stay on to see what fall bird migration will look like in Crimson. I've told her about the birds I've seen in previous years, and she seems excited, but she's not paying for her room. Please help.
That's the part that we can see in the actual note in the background right now.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
You're a good soul.
You're a good soul, McLeod. Now things have calmed down. I've had time to rest and think on things. I wanted to say thank you. But now that I've had time to think about it, I realize that I would have completely been dead.
It's
if
pretty
not
good.
for
It's
you.
pretty good you kept me from dying. I guess.
Yeah. I got no doubt you'll make your way in this world and succeed on your own terms. So I'm not sending you any of the massive amounts of money I must be able to make by, surreptitiously selling small amounts of diamonds at a time.
I do have to say this though. Making your way in the world today, it takes everything you got.
Yeah. I was trying the other day randomly to find the Hungry Heifer episode of Cheers, the one where it burns down. Whatever.
Thank you especially for caring about what happened to Margot and doing something about it. Nessa will be behind bars for the rest of her life, which I hope it's very long. And I hope it's full of the kind of discomfort that you can only get from good, honest poverty. From what I hear, she quite likes the strict rules and routine. I just relieve that Nessa will never intrude on my daily life ever again. Thanks. My gal Margot lived a whole other life before she met me. I know all about it. She told me. I knew she was sick. None of it mattered to me. I just wish I'd died first. Why couldn't you have allowed that to happen, huh? Why didn't you murder me before my wife was murdered? But never mind about the past, Nancy. Let's talk about the future. Margot was a very successful businesswoman up in Chicago. That is what brought her unwanted attention from unsavory people. Unsavory with an extra U. She had to do certain things to protect herself, including leaving town quick. She had to leave some things behind. She buried them and told me where. Now I'm telling you where. Coordinates and directions enclosed. Hugs and kisses, me. If you're up for an adventure, seek out what you buried. It's all yours. You owned it. But wait for spring to set in and take the time to plan the journey. Also, this might be good material for a sequel. Skagway's a long way away, so I've enclosed something to help you pay your way there. Take it to a jeweler with deep pockets and sell it. If you'd rather not make the trek to Skagway, sell it and use it for pay for your education, your dreams, or just enjoy your life. It's up to you. I am not, in fact, ordering you to do anything. Nathan sends his regards, which reminds me, I've already transferred ownership of the lodge and lands to Nathan. I should have done that a long time ago. I'm living in his house now. We all are. Actually, as a matter of fact, he's kicking me out. What the hell? Take care, Nancy. You're welcome to the lodge anytime. Nathan says so. So do I. Signed, Evan Richards. P.S. Jack died. Or Jack left. You unwrap the bundle of cloth and are stunned to find yourself holding Margot's white garnet necklace.
Oh! This probably isn't a garnet.
Oh my! You can't resist the call to adventure. You sell the necklace and spend the bleak, monotonous winter months in the city planning your trip up to Skagway. At long last, the weather becomes warmer. You book a train out west. By the time you arrive in Vancouver, it's the start of summer. But you're deeply suspicious of the guy sleeping behind you on the train with a newspaper over his face. You manage to book passage at a large fishing vessel up through Georgia Strait along the coast of British Columbia and into Alaska. But that whole navigating the straits of the Bering Straits turns into a lengthy, unfun minigame. From there, it's a quick jaunt up to Lynn Canal on a smaller fishing vessel and into Skagway proper. Just turned into cross-country Canada. The fisherman drops you off at the dock bright and early and tells you he'll pick you up at the end of his workday, after which you'll spend the night in Juneau. A.k.a. Juneau. You enter the wilderness, fending off the largest black flies you've ever seen. Eventually, you find the spot that Evan described in his letter. Some visuals for this would have been good. There we go. Oh, man, the abominable snowman's going to chase you around here.
This is it.
Oh, the game is continuing. Do we have to actually, do a minigame to find this treasure?
Gotta get all the way back to the bottom. Dig under the bush.
Oh, I thought this was a family game. Well, the area close to Skagway's dock was broken down and abandoned. This area is resplendent with natural beauty. The sky is clear. Newly bloomed wildflowers are sprinkled on the steep rocky hill. Endless mountain ranges stretch into the distance.
As much as I'd like to, I don't have time for that right now. I must remain on task. That means I need to start digging.
But you spent months planning the trip. You have time. You'd rather let the flowers bloom in peace. Like blooming onions. You don't have time to stop and smell the flowers. I mean, the pink wildflowers smell sweet and fresh, like the best perfume, only better. Lick jam.
I just want to see how much stuff I can actually do around this one little room at the end of the game.
The rocks are quite different here from Crimson, but you don't have time to study them right now. I feel like this is the developers' room. Like, you should meet like various Japanese people will be like, hi, I'm Fishman. Thank you for playing my game in broken English.
I only have a few hours before the fisherman is meeting back at the dock, and I still have to hike back. I wonder if there's, just in case we can mess this up, and we just like, oops, I walked away.
Fall to your death.
Nope.
Can you take a shower and then die? Hey, check your inventory. Can you try that white powder?
What do we got here? We got some crystals from the bag. Oh, apparently we forgot to look at
the mine.
Wow, I can see why Crimson was such a booming mining town. These rocks are full of garnets. This is so the garnets aren't gem quality and are incorporated into the sample. But maybe inside the mine might be a different story.
All right, well, let's
This is the discovery of a lifetime.
Okay, let's
wait.
You got to use the loop on him now, right?
Got to use the loop on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We did definitely read this before.
By a tight yeah, this is what happens when you have to load and play through a section again. You don't do all these
Nobody
things.
would suspect red diamonds. Like, clearly we know about the red diamonds, so this must be just...
Oh, I think it would be nice,
these.
actually, if... yeah! Oh, so I got a new headcanon now. It's not that we decided that we didn't want to ruin the nice lodge by turning it into a whole diamond tourist trap. It was like, we didn't figure it out until later. It's like, oh, no wonder he's so grateful I didn't reveal the red diamonds, because there are red diamonds, and I just never pieced it together.
Yeah. So it said it added notes, but there's no extra notes here.
Well, got to go to our inventory and see if we can take that white powder.
Oh! There was actually way more in our inventory than we thought.
Yeah.
What do we got? Salt? Diamonds?
I think
Trowel?
everything related to the crime was given to
Yeah, we still got our hat, though.
Dudley Do Right, of course.
Oh, we have our hat now. Where
Hat's
hat?
full of white.
Damn.
You don't need to wear your hat. What the... Oh, you going behind the bush. You gotta make sure to shake the bush if you're trying to use the bathroom so that the guards don't shoot you.
I was at the wrong bush.
You excitedly use your trusty trowel to dig under the bush. You don't have to dig very far down before you hit a wooden cigar box.
Oh, there's a note inside, and it's like, hey, meet me in Mexico. We'll build a boat.
Inside the cigar box, you find a purple velvet drawstring bag and an envelope. Hey, it's Crown Royale.
It is.
There's a letter inside the envelope. You unfold it and start reading aloud.
If you're reading this, it means I never made it back here to retrieve this box. That could be for many reasons, but two that preoccupy my mind are the following. Number one, I've managed to find a place where I belong among people who love me, and I never felt the need to return. The other reason is that I'm dead.
Yeah, that's really sweet, and it's not the kind of thing you'd probably put in a letter like this, but the second one, yeah.
Por qué no los dos? You know?
Yeah.
She found a place she loved, and she's dead. But seeing as this is in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to hope that...
She is.
What?
She was really sad. Like, Nancy.
Yeah, she's sad that Margot's dead. But seeing as this is in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to hope that you're someone I care about and that I told about this. Whomever you are, friend or stranger, whether you came by this by love or luck, you're welcome to it. Oh, she's happy about this part now. Hey, I'm welcome to it. All I ask is that you tell no one where it came from, because I did find the contents of this bag near Skagway in a secret spot. One day, I hope this area will recover from harm that was caused by the gold rush, by people like me. It's my fervent wish that nature reclaims Skagway, and that the water will run clear once more. Be well.
I hope someday a great rain comes down and washes away the scum of the Skagway.
Be well. Signed, Margot.
You carefully open the drawstring bag. Inside you find gold nuggets of various sizes, the largest of which is as big as a walnut, but unfortunately it doesn't pay for the cost of the trip.
Oh wow, I'd describe that as the size of a small potato.
I would describe these bugs as being the size of a child's fist. It's a different adventure game. You take the bag of golden walnut-sized nuggets, and put them in your pocket. It doesn't feel right to leave the box empty. With a flash of inspiration, you realize exactly what you should do, and you take a dump in there. Sorry. You place your samples from Crimson into the cigar box. Well, the ones with the diamonds in them, and particularly the ones with crimson diamonds.
Back into the ground where they belong. I'll keep your secret, Margot, if you'll keep mine.
Aw, see, now you have like a spiritual connection with Margot.
Well done.
You carefully rebury... Sorry, we say something?
Listen,
No,
well
okay.
done.
You carefully rebury the cigar box beneath the bush. Margot picked a perfect spot to conceal her treasure even now. You can hardly tell where you've just dug.
I suppose that's that.
Then you trip and fall down the mountainside and die. Yeah, the good end is significantly more uplifting than the bad end, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're not. Well, I guess we are still kind of rich. Just not as
Yeah,
rich.
it's like, hey, you got rich and you didn't sell your soul. Extra points. You take one last look at the mountains, rolling hills, and wonder what Margot was thinking and how she was feeling as she stood in this spot.
I wish I could have told you about the peaceful, beautiful place you'd find and the people who you'd meet who'd care about you. Goodbye, Margot.
I knew about them. By the time you'd met me, I had already met all of them.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
It'd be great if her face just appeared in the clouds.
Yeah. It's just this sort of image, like gently fluttering in the breeze, and then the credits play over it. You trek back to the dilapidated dock in Swizgar, the dilapidated boat. The fisherman is waiting for you, his nets full of halibut.
Oh, just for the hell of it.
You thank him for his waiting. You thank him for his waiting. You thank him for waiting. Tell him you had a lovely hike and board his vessel. Unfortunately, he shanghais you and takes your gold. It's time to go home. And now Margot's face appears.
Oh, la cour de mer.
Wink! You can resist keeping one of these blazingly bright red crystals. Flavor crystals. And then unexpectedly the face of Corvus appears in the sky. Your assumptions were all correct and supported by what you'd seen and learned. Bravo! You scored 24 points out of 24 during your pre-departure ponderings.
Sweet deal.
You performed flawlessly in your interview with the Ranger. Excellent work. We're surprised you didn't get the fall in love with the Ranger ending. Scored 13 points out of 13 during your interview with Ranger Murdoch.
Those 3s or 9s?
Oh, whatever. As long as they're not nice. You thoroughly and expertly investigated and reported on Margot's death. Well done.
It's the very end of the series here, but to be fair to JG, he's watching us through a Discord video.
Yeah, my eyes are bad. You scored 8 points out of 8 for your Margot investigation, unless those are sideways infinity signs.
They might be.
Congratulations, you answered all the questions correctly. You truly are a super sleuth.
We are pretty super. We could probably catch Carmen.
I don't know, man. Carmen's a little more slippery than this guy. Oh, hey, here we go. Carl Leffler, a.k.a. Albert Respo, was tried and found guilty of sabotage on the railway bridge, attempted sabotage of the Sulaks, espionage, fraud, theft, and a litany of minor charges. He was incarcerated at Kingston Penitentiary until his death 12 years later of a heart attack. I thought they would execute
How come
him.
heart attack isn't in quotes there?
Ah.
There's no video of outside of the cell before it happened.
The
Just move on,
Sulaks were
move on.
patrolled by the North... Yeah. The Sulaks were patrolled by the Northwest Mounted Police for the duration of the Great War. No other sabotage attempts were made. Thanks to this vigilance, Canadian supply lines along the Great Lake waterways remained uninterrupted. This played an important part in Commonwealth war efforts and crucially contributed to the Allied victory. As a matter of fact, you personally are the only reason that the Allies won World War I. Indirectly, this means you're responsible for the Holocaust, so sorry about that. Corvus Shaw was found guilty of being an accomplice in Evans' kidnapping, forgery, and attempted fraud. You helped clear him of charges involving Margot's death because you'd been privy to the conversation he'd had with Nissa in the orchard.
I believe he was quite surprised that Nessa was poisoning somebody.
Yeah.
So
As a result,
I guess
when he was
if we didn't hide and listen to that, he would have been put to jail too. I guess.
falsely. As a result, when he was released from prison, he came to thank you. You fell in love, and you got married, and you actually now have Corvus Shaw's children. He was disbarred and served 5 years in a medium security prison. Upon release, grateful for your assistance in partially clearing his name, he dedicated himself to community service. Eventually,
Also, he had 50 hours of community service he had to start with, and he just kind of liked it.
Yeah. Later, he became the host of the game show Diamond Dave Kicks You in the Balls. Margot was laid to rest in Crimson's lushly overgrown cemetery in an informal service attended by Evan. Jack's still alive. Jack, Nathan, and Kimmy. It was a consolation to the attendees that Nessa was brought to justice for all her crimes, although they all kind of wondered why you didn't come.
Well, the seats
I guess you don't have cell
The seats are not very new.
Yeah, they'd have to. Oh, jeez. The seat covers. Yeah, I guess. To turn it away from that, no one has video of him dying of the heart attack. No, to turn it away from both of those topics. Yeah, it's not like, I guess a telegram might have been to tell you we had the funeral on this date, as opposed to we are holding the funeral until you reply by telegram to confirm you're traveling by train. Like, it's a little different. It was a little different back then.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Kimi Kishiro stayed. Oh, that's right. I should be doing their voices. Kimi Kishiro stayed on at the lodge until after the autumn migration of birds, when she returned to Vancouver to be with her family. From then on, she'd visit Crimson for the spring and autumn migrations, as well as the cormorant's nesting season every summer. For some reason, she keeps returning, even though it's the most important place in your life and you can never be bothered.
I suppose these ones are the ones that are a big difference, right? Because, like, I think we got the Albert ending properly, even in the bad ending, because we happened to already catch him. But
yeah, the Corvus ending was different.
Corvus's ending was different because he was the only one that was captured, so he went to jail. But Nessa was just gone, and Kimmy was like, "I can't hang out at the lodge."
Yeah, Nessa shades of red. She just left. Jack remained at the lodge, continued to take care of it, even after Evan legally transferred the lodge and lands to Nathan Cardinal and his family. When Jack became old and creaky, the Cardinals in turn took care of him. Aww.
Nathan Cardinal and Evan Richards arranged the transfer of the lodge and lands to the Cardinal family, effective immediately. Considering recent events, they agreed it was a good idea. The secret of the Crimson Diamonds remained hidden. Nessa Crabbe was found guilty of Margot's murder, the attempted murder of Evan, kidnapping, and attempted fraud. She was sent to the newly constructed northwest wing of the Kingston Penitentiary, earning the unenviable distinction of being one of the most serious female offenders to be incarcerated in there. However, nobody else wanted to F with her. She died behind bars before serving her full sentence.
On the first day, she punched out the meanest bitch she could find, and nobody fucked with her. I wish I'd thought of doing their voices, but when we still had Corvus to do, because this was fun.
Richards left faithfully the rest of his days at his beloved lodge. Upon his death, he was buried alongside Margot and his parents in Crimson, which is exactly what he wanted. Crimson remained heaven where wildlife, all kinds.
You continue working diligently as a clerk at the Royal Canadian Museum. Eventually, you were accepted to the University of Toronto in the Department of Geology and Paleontology as an undergraduate. Professor Plummer spoke highly of your fieldwork in Crimson in his letter of recommendation. Although your findings weren't revolutionary, he tells you that impeccable, exhaustive work, regardless of the result, is the bedrock of any scientific discipline, and that he's very proud of you. He's like, that was a good idea, Nancy. Just like Nancy said to us.
Yep.
A few months later, you receive a letter from Ranger Murdoch praising your investigative prowess and tenacity in bringing Margot's killer to justice and to helping foil the sabotage attempt at Sue Locks. He says you're a natural detective and that he hopes your paths will cross again someday.
Of course, we don't get to find out what happens to him or to Professor Plummer. Sorry.
You keep that's for the fanfics. You keep the secret of Crimson Diamonds. Although sometimes you wonder what your life would have been like, or could have been like, had you published your findings. You sleep well at night knowing you've helped preserve a beautiful place, but it just eats you up inside that you don't get to say Crimson Diamonds out loud.
You know, I will say, as far as the Crimson Diamond fanfics, and I'm sure there's a huge community for it, the Plummer Murdoch /fics are probably the raunchiest ones. Just
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for going out on that note, GG. Design, writing, art, animation, programming, Julia motherfucking good job, Minamata. Like, no, I said, yeah, no, it was really good work
it's
by
a really good
Julia.
game. This was well put together. I was impressed.
Yeah, I because our Let's Play style, me in particular, tends to be like a little goofing around and being silly and being self-deprecating, but like, yeah, like, because we kind of did the same thing at the end of oh god, I keep blanking on it. The one with the guy
the
who
kid?
was in the weird world. The what?
Oh, I was thinking of Kid Named Ice Boy.
No, Kid Named Ice Boy was like a parody game. The one that we played with the guy, he kept
the
dying. The Aching, yeah. Like that one, we were kind of making fun of it a bit too, and saying like, oh, but it had potential, it was interesting, this, that, or the other. Like this was amazing, honestly. This was something that she put together. It sounds like more or less on her own.
Yep.
And there's Patreon patrons and this, that, and the other. But like this was like bringing back memories of those old games, but it was like markedly better than most of those old games actually were. If you just sat down and played one of those old games.
Yeah, I'll say this: if anybody gets to this point in the video and they are interested, if you go to Twitch and look up the Crimson Diamond, on Tuesdays, Julia does streams. I've mentioned the stream before, but that you just look the Crimson Diamond, like the channel's called the Crimson Diamond, I believe, and you should be able to find her and give her a follow and check her out, because I think this game is eventually going to get, I hope so, some sort of sequel. But if it doesn't, I'm sure she'll eventually make some other game. She also has done pixel art work for other games and stuff that are worth checking out.
Yeah, like I don't know if this game needs a direct sequel or if it just needs a game in the same vein with different characters. But I would check out either one. Absolutely, for sure.
Yep.
This is really, really good. And if you do that, make sure you don't tell them that Zerfall sent you, because I'm not sure that I wanted to see this Let's Play. but still, yeah, absolutely support. I mean, like, these are the best games nowadays. It's the ones that are just like, I know this is not an original thing. I'm the first one to say this, but like the games that are just kind of like labors of love are just, yeah, that's kind of what makes playing in new games for retro nerds like us worth it, rather than just replaying the games you already know are good.
Well, and I'll spring this on you here now too. The sequel to The Aching is actually in the works, and I do think that game will be better once all 3 games in the trilogy are out, because I feel like that'll actually... that game felt like we got so far into it, and it was like, oh, we're heading to the city, it's going to be an exciting adventure, and then it was just like, oh no.
It was building up to being really good, and then kind of ended at that point. So if that was like, I want to get this game out and generate some interest, and I gotta like release what I've got so far and let the story continue, I totally get that. Yep. Not to make this a video about The Aching, but The Aching also had that weird thing where, and this has a little bit of that too, honestly. The Aching had like some of the most interesting content was stuff that was like completely optional, and you could win the game and never come across it.
Yeah.
And I don't know the right answer to that, because I feel like this game, you would have, if you missed a bunch of stuff, it kind of had ways to communicate you that you missed stuff, but you still would have gotten most of the story, and it would have been fun. It would have been like, well, you didn't quite prove this, that, or the other, but I think you would have gotten most of it. Whereas The Aching was just like, if you win the game and you don't get the optional stuff, you're kind of like, okay, well, I found the right thing to give to the guy to get past this screen, and now I'm at the boat and the game's over, and I don't understand anything.
And I'll say too, the hint book, like Crimson Diamond doesn't have a walkthrough. Well, it might now somewhere, but on the website there's a Crimson Diamond hint book, and it's the old school style where you can't see the answers, and it's like, here's a bunch of answers with lines over top of them, right? Or not lines, they're like blacked out, they're censored out, and then you can click on them and they give you slow, like it's like the old ones where they'd be like, oh, have you considered looking in this area? Oh, have you considered this? And then when you get to the last one, it's like, this, you need to type this in.
Right.
But like, it's that
the way the
Codename
Name Iceman's was supposed to work, but kind of didn't, because Codename Iceman was a particularly bad example in all aspects of what these games were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
another little secret that we can tell the folks is that I think it was you, not me, that was driving the, hey, let's do some of the old murder mystery style, because we both obviously have a great fondness for the adventure games and for the... I think I've got more nostalgia for Infocom than you do, but we both have a lot of nostalgia for Sierra. And you were like, hey, we should play some... I don't remember even the name of the series. I know it's a well-loved famous series.
Oh, geez. The Colonel's Bequest, I think, is the one.
Yeah. So I never played that. I didn't play very much of the late Sierra stuff. When that stuff was coming out, I wasn't at a point in my life where I was playing a lot of computer games. So it's my loss. It's, because I'm sure if I'd played them, I would have loved them. But at the time, you were like, oh, those are going to be really tough to let's play. It's very difficult to show all the content, this, that, and blah, blah, blah. And because I think my original thing was, hey, let's play those games that this is based on, and then we'll play this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you just kind of landed on, no, I really don't want to wait that long. I want to play
I was looking forward to playing this game, and
yeah,
it's true. I think this game greatly improved on the genre, I guess, right? Because it's a lot harder for you. There's still stuff you can miss, but I feel like the Colonel's Bequest, there's a lot more stuff. It's a lot more hardcore Sierra, where there's stuff you can miss that will just make it like you can't figure this out. Where I feel like in this game, even if you miss stuff, you have to get a certain amount of things, and there's much less time-sensitive stuff, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's designed by somebody who loved those games and also understood the things about them that were not amazing.
Yeah.
You're right. There's a lot that's changed since too. Like so the reason I brought that up is like, I'm kind of not interested in playing the Colonel's Bequest games now because I feel like I would be comparing them unfavorably to the Crimson Diamond, to be honest. But no, but what you got to remember about those, like all of these, it's the same thing goes for video games, this goes for films, this goes for TV shows and books, is they're of their time. And like now I think, games like this tend to be a labor of love from somebody who's, maybe this is not their only source of income or whatever. But like back then, the expectation was, you buy a puzzle game and it costs like $35-$40, whatever it costs in stores. You're supposed to get months of play out of that game. Like if you buy a game and you beat it in a week, it's like, I feel ripped off. This is bullshit.
I was gonna say, especially the Infocom ones. I think at the time, the audience for computer games were really big nerds who wanted to have a game. I say nerds lovingly. That wanted to have a game that challenged them, but they felt like they beat it. Like this game was trying to keep me from winning, and I beat it. They liked good stories, but like they weren't buying a book, right? They wanted to buy something that they had to defeat, not just play through. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, and we could have a whole video where we just talk about the Infocom games because they changed a lot over time too. And like the early Infocom games had mechanics now that would be like, well, how the hell are you supposed to figure that shit out? If you drop an item, there's a thief NPC that moves around and picks stuff up, and you can kill them, and you don't get points for it, but it makes it easier to solve the puzzle mazes where you're supposed to drop an item in a room, and that's how you can tell you've returned to this. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the Infocom games that just wouldn't fly as mechanics now.
Yeah. And I saw somebody playing one of the Infocom games that was like a murder mystery. And like as time's happening in the game, people are moving around the house and doing all this stuff, and you only have so much time to solve the crime. And like, you almost need to do metagaming where like, oh, I figured this out in another playthrough, and I don't need to go in that room now. I just need to go here and type these numbers into the thing, or I just need to do this, right? Like, it was a super complicated game where like you could interview every single person there, and you could go into rooms and do so many different things. And if you entered rooms from certain directions instead of this, then other stuff happened.
I think I know the game you're talking about. I think it's
complicated for just text though.
I think it's called Suspect. And I think I remember that game, and I think I remember that I basically played it on the collection. Because I remember this one actually. I was pretty young playing it on the Infocom Classics collection, and I couldn't do Shinola without the hint book. But I loved it anyway. Like playing through it with the hint book, it was still a lot of fun. Because that came from the days where you had feelies, right? Like the actual game had a bunch of content, like physical content in the game box. Yeah. And I remember like trying to make Bobo play through it after I'd played through it because I wanted to see him play through it because the story was really good. But also kind of realizing like I could never have won this game because it was amazing. That game was doing stuff like real murder mystery books do, like setting up a really unlikable character who has a clear motive and is not doing anything to make it look like he's not guilty, and and that guy's not guilty. Like it was doing all the classic murder mystery stuff, which I haven't read enough Agatha Christie to know how closely the Crimson Diamond and the whatever the heck series follow that stuff. But
Laura Bow, that's her name.
Laura Bow, yeah. No, but it's yeah, but to swing it back to the Crimson Diamond, yeah, like the Sierra games had like like soft locking yourself. Like this game, I was kind of like there were interesting mechanics to prevent you from soft locking, and they weren't always completely not silly. Like the whole I feel like I'm not ready to go to bed yet. Like that's not perfect, but it's about as artful as you're gonna get with like.
Yeah.
No, if you go to bed now, you're going to soft lock the game. Like, find another clue where the story can't progress.
Yeah. Well,
which interestingly enough was exactly the same mechanic that was used in Kid Named Ice Boy, whereas Codename Iceman would just like let you go to the wrong city and be like,
you lost the game, and
and
be like, oh, I hope you know how far back you have to load the game.
You took an entire plane trip to Hawaii with the wrong ID in your pocket, but somehow you got through the airport. But now,
well, and here's the thing: is that the thing I like more about Sierra-like adventure games is that the modern take on Sierra I find a little more fun because you have a bunch of the improvements, like you're not soft locking and all this stuff, but they still give you, hey, here is a whole bunch of deaths you can get. And sometimes we'll give you a bit of a warning, like, hey, you're gonna die if you try this, and you're like, well, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then they're like, fine, here's your reward. You know you wanted this. I know you wanted this. We're all happy that you died here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Infocom had fun deaths too. They just weren't graphically fun.
Well, no, but, Infocom did, but like LucasArts, right? Like, I believe famously there's like one way to die in like Monkey Island, and it involves you waiting underwater for more than 10 minutes because that's how long he can hold his breath for.
Well, I have weird missing bits of knowledge. Like I never played Monkey. I know Monkey Island is the game people think of when they think of Lucas games, but I was like Maniac Mansion, Zach McCracken.
I guess Maniac Mansion. Yeah, Maniac Mansion was an early one though, and they still had like soft locks and stuff.
Well, yeah, and Maniac Mansion also it got a big fandom because it, as far as I know, was the only one of those that was ever ported to Nintendo. Mm-hmm. And when I see the Nintendo port, I'm like, how could you play this?
And the answer is by using the bugs.
Yes.
All right. Well, we should probably call it a video here.
We should probably wrap this thing up, but I can't say enough good things about this game. If you like this kind of game, and if you don't like this kind of game, why are you still here?
Yeah, I feel like we had a bit of a slow start, and it was like it had me a little bit worried for maybe the first couple of videos where I was like, oh, it feels like we're having a bit of a slog here, getting things figured out, what we're supposed to do. But once we hit our stride, it was really good. I
think it made a difference.
9.5 out of 10 with no notes.
The story picks up as you go. Like, you know it's going to turn into a crazy murder crime mystery, but it takes its time getting there, which that speaks to a level of patience that I think was normal in the games that this was inspired by. And
to be honest with you, I thought Evan was going to be the one that died at some point.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the game, I was like, oh, everyone wants his place, eh? Someone's going to kill him, and then we're going to be trying to figure out who's... Right?
Yeah,
So
I think I will say, okay, I know we're trying to wrap up. When the mean lady who's mean to you from the very beginning and keeps talking about how she hates her brother turns out to be the one. Yeah, they didn't really do a whole... I guess having the guy be a German spy was a little bit of a surprise, but I was talking about, oh yeah, this Infocom game gives you a character who's really unlikable, and turns out that he has nothing to do with the crime. This game gave us 3 characters who were distinctly unlikable, and they were all guilty of various crimes. Everybody who was nice was like super squeaky clean and good. So yep. I don't know how to feel about that, but if that's the biggest complaint I have about the game, then it's pretty freaking good.
Yep. Cool. All right, folks. Thanks for watching this one. We'll be back with another Let's Play in the near future. Who knows what it'll be? No one will know until we announce it at the beginning of the video, even if you see the title in the description.
Yeah, we'll spend the first 30 seconds pretending you don't know what you clicked, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it anyway. And I would like to close by saying, folks, even though your idea wasn't correct, it was still helpful, and we're glad you provided it.
See you next time.
Bye.